And thank you to Rochford Street Press for bringing Open into the world. Inspired by the Sydney launch by Anna Kawani, I'll start at the beginning. Sarah and I met properly in 1991. I'd noticed this interesting writer and was keen for her to submit to a book I had on the go, and she had already picked up the leaflet and wanted to know more about it. Thanks to this and an opportune moment, we had a wonderful getting to know you conversation on a Canberra curb's edge. As speeches came to an end, other Gulf War protesters swirled and parted, and some lay abreast the length of the road holding large placards for a photo shoot. Sounds like a metaphor for a writer. Sarah is a writer on the edge, observing, witnessing, and just as often in the midst of it, experiencing. She is one of the most poetic prose writers I know, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of her short stories in print, along with her award-winning unpublished novel. Meanwhile, it's exciting to see a volume of poetry from her, and I have no doubt it is the first of many. Open is not a large volume, yet it holds so much of a life. We meet significant people, including the poet's son Lawrence and the poet's husband Dylan, both loved as much as Sarah, and the poet's mother Molly too. In Archaeology of Gardens, Sarah, still observing, digs and cuts back while her mother watches. From the high window, as I watered our garden in summer, you let me be lost in my dreams, this better place, the best place I could be, and I think you knew. There are poems that are dreamlike and poems as surreal as dreams. There are poems that take the everyday world and make it otherworldly. In 821.3 in Old Civic Library, she builds a world for the reader from what goes on inside and out. And I'll read a short excerpt from the beginning of the poem. Look through the darkness of light-sensitive glass at the interchange, the missed connections, takeaways and deals. Hold your sweat-wet coal slip and watch while the infirm wait for a kneeling bus. It's an unsettling poem. The sense that one move out of step and everything will come tumbling down. You feel a butterfly somewhere move its wing. I heard it explained on TV that the reason that tenors are so popular is because we can actually feel the voice in our bodies. I thought that's a bit fascinating. Then one night in the heat of a Sydney summer, I was standing in a circle of people at an exhibition opening, holding an open bottle of water against me, when the MC began the formalities in his beautiful tenor speaking voice. It vibrated through the bottle, into my hand, and through my body. Sarah, as you may have noticed, is not a tenor, but the tenor of her writing voice is such that it enters you, it holds onto you. Before officially releasing Open by Sarah St Vincent Welch into the world, I'll read you her introduction, which we've agreed on. It's beautiful. The book is a door. Open it, close it. Stand in the threshold, turn the page. It may seem old-fashioned to you, edges worked and worn and nibbled. You may notice the grain of the paper, the smell of print, the powder of age and of use, the crisp spine. Or it might be fresh, its cover shiny, its spine fragile, crackling. Rub the smooth cover on your face. A pressed flower falls, the memory of its shape left on the words. We both know this is an old door, even if it has just been made, and like all others of its kind, might be magical. It could glimmer on a web, pages flipping, swiping in the breeze, caught in light. No space, no time. The door is opening and closing, spinning in our hands. Come in.
Thank you so much, Liz, for such a beautiful speech. I'm so deeply touched, and Liz and I have had many morning coffees over words, haven't we? I'd like to thank Smith's Alternative for giving us this amazing venue to have our poetry events in. That poetry thing, that great crew of volunteers who keep this going every week. Rochford's Press over here for inviting me to publish with them and to be part of the next stage of their press. Dylan for the design of the book and the cover and the typesetting, which is just beautiful. And Dylan and Lawrence for providing so much material to write about. Thanks, Melinda, amazing MC, and Francis, bookseller extraordinaire. So tell me, who of you have played Nintendo? Any? Oh, yep, there's a few. How about over here? Yep. Which is your favourite character to play? Yell it out.
Mario.
Yoshi? Yeah. Good. Luigi. He's given it away. This is called Nintendo. You'll be Luigi because his name begins with L and he's a man. And I'll be Peach because she's a princess and I'm a woman. No. I'll be Link instead, who's green or blue, has a sword, is a village boy who shoots arrows of light. But Luigi, you still beat me with your hammer every time. This is for my darling Dylan. Dylan means man from the sea. He's Welsh. Out there between the waves. The moon sucks at my feet and the tide wash shushes, ripples over wet sand and dusk-light reflection. The moon slides forward as I walk towards the past, out there between the waves. A crescent of pine trees around Apollo Bay, the bonsai patrollers of a miniature Earth. They wait in the car, engine choking, spitting. I have just 5 minutes after all that driving to be at the seaside, in the dry-mouthed midday. I step over castles and wade out, skirt pulled high, my loneliness a rip, dragging itself away. I walk to the future, and the new moon follows like an excited dog in the half-light morning. The car drove inland, but I stayed at the bay for 5 days, years, decades. Time runs itself away and quakes take histories. The earth rolls like the sea. Uncut roots let pines grow, be old and giantess. Out there between the waves. The future is present. Ghost moon in the day sky. I'm married to his love. This man from the sea, his smile here on my face. We may drown, we may live, playing like our children, out there between the waves. So I was surprised to see that Jenny Martinello was at Half Moon Bay, one of my favourite places in Victoria. What was it, Jenny? Just yesterday, or yesterday. And this was the beginning of first poem in Project 366, that year-long poem project, and it's called Half Moon Bay. On the last day, we waded out through the bay to Cerberus's hulk. I found you singing songs of flight and air, clouds, mazed cities, quiet kitchens, statues and stars, your gifts. Our kitchen this morning cracks with stories, none mine, is built again as the fiddle practices over us all. And the old year's night in blue violent haze, so many people waded back through the bay to me. This is the last piece in the book and it's called Open. Open me. Inside is outside, outside in. All at once, all of a sudden, always, over and over. Open me. The smooth strip unrolling, pulled through and twisted so to walk with your fingers over the plane of the surface, stroll anywhere and then into the drawings, and words, fingers walking stealthy and steady on top and also under the path, continuing over, under, over, across as a fish, a gecko, a human, a bird, leaping as kangaroo, swimming as dugong, sticking, shore, clawed, slide, whip, merge, emerge, flying, unfolding, walking as if off the page, the scroll, the strip, somersaulting along them, dangling from an edge, edging along the edge, folding together, stretching across. Light like a lens flare, a throbbing Venus, a planet, and the spider vein in your eyelids spinning a funnel. A furled child hides. Under and over between, coming undone, folding up and over, running away with yourself, walking on and on and on. Slip the cloth off. Over your head, unwrap the bandages. Open me. Pick the sticky tape with a fingernail, tear the paper, rip it, undo the button, slip it through, peel the apple, a slide of knife, circling skin, descending, falling, bruised, sweet, unwrapped, bitten, pry the skin from the flesh and suck, count the seeds, examine the core, bitter. Open me, light shy imprinted, a flash, needle and ink, tap, tap, words and shapes on surfaces, descending, sinking in, absorbed, pressing the membrane, opening out, open. Exposed negative, developing, sluiced, ancient light. Silver in emulsion, aperture, open, a telescope. Me, taste, tastes a scheme of tastes interlaced and ragged. Sharp, longing, lolling tongue, salivating, swimming in this, sinking, smoky swell. Amber sugar, drink me up, a memory, and now, pouring into now. Wiping everything up with it, everything. Open me. Open. Slide into a bird cry. The pitch of your body, its pulse and shrill, a note resonating, struck over, a song, a rhyme. The carillon, a tower of bells. Plain glass, swinging a tune with a fingertip from lip to lip. Embouchure stretched, tasting blood. Twanging a string, seeking a chord, sliding it open, shifting fingers, pressing, squeezing, ranking up the hurdy-gurdy, round and round. Me. Open. Pour a glass. Swish, slosh, sip. Surging underground. Standing at the top of the hill and waving. Gulp. Spill over. Pour. Underwater. Sipping. Spilled. Me. Us. Open. Okay, I promised, this is not from Open, I promised if my dancing master and dancing mistress came tonight, I would read a couple of dance poems, and here they are. This is how you get people along to poetry readings. Thank you, John and Alwyn, and dance friends who are here. And I just want to also mention that some people have travelled quite a way to be here, including the MC. We've got people from Yass and from Braidwood, and thank you so much for everyone for giving up your Monday night to be here. Circle dance. Feet lift faster, lighter than they are, than anything possible. Heart beat, breath spin, around, together, around. This dance we've joined began in a dream. Open faces facing in to all. We are a circle. Dance while you can. Dance while you can. A late in life lesson. How music is our body. How it aches after. I learn how.